This episode of the Devinwade Show is brought to you by Ace the Engineer, the only other audio engineer I trust to mix the Devinwade Show. If you want your stuff to sound professional, make sure to hit up Ace the Engineer, unless he's with like Beyonce or Patti LaBelle or some shit like that at the moment. Follow Ace the Engineer on IG at Ace the Engineer.
Who better line them up so I can knock them down? I don't care when they was popping, boy, I'm popping now. We air tracks till they airing on the airwaves. Lames never drop like something blocking up their airways. We made them look, now they shook and they all staring. Grilling like Paul Wall till they dogs is paw bearing. Never swing with fools, the dudes I know thorough. They all tote tools, but cool as Joe Burrow. All these rats home and they dying to tell again. Gotta send them shots, bullets flying like a pelican. Flow like Fiji, my life was never PG. Running through the game, breaking bricks like Luigi. Now I job raps, I promise it's all game. I still bust traps and drop racks on ball main. It's the privacy for me, we make it hard for them to see. These rappers getting raped, they'll never offer that to me. I'd rather lay low like a 6'4" Impala. Leave the music to my kids and tell them you don't owe $1. A lot of rappers nice but lazy and feel entitled. I feel I'm getting close to have a toast with my idol. I come from riding around with the Uzi on my jeans. Now we on the air and his movies on the screen. Sex electrifying, she gon' ride it like a Tesla. I do my thing, she gon' wanna ring like a wrestler. A boxer, a brawler, she come when I call her. I bend her all up, then I send her to Ben Baller. Let's see who last laugh when it come to success. Don't let it be your last gas from a gun to your chest. Cause I came a long way from probation and parole. And now a nigga go to vacation till he old. Only round the real, y'all can keep all that whack love. Under palm trees and straw hats getting back rubs. Paparazzi waiting for us everywhere we land at. We wear that black sand at. I know some can't stand that. Sit and take notes then. Get calls when the boat's in. Pistol packing Porter, better watch how you approach him. Humble but he stepped though, hard like a step show. One call, I had that dog food like Petco. New guns in, that we could quickly get the booming. A scope on each one that you could aim with and zoom in. Better make room, we hustle to the tomb. The wolf type, we wake up and howl at the moon. They better make room, we hustle to the tomb. The wolf type, we wake up and howl at the moon.
You know that's the way we start the Devinwade Show.
Dev Nasty.
What up, what up, what up? Welcome to an all-new episode of the Devinwade Show. I am your host, Dev Nasty, a.k.a. Dangerous Dev Nasty, a.k.a. Choke Your Mom Out, a.k.a. Choke Your Pop Out. And somebody just burnt this joint. Look, he got to get wiped down.
Yeah.
It was a lot of realness in there. Porter said, riding around with the Uzi on his lap. This is true stories.
Yeah.
These are true. I know that's a true story.
A 24 shot, fully auto joint. You know, it had to send me on there too.
That joint.
Yeah.
Oh, but always to the left of me is Porta Rich.
They know what it is, man. We back. It's your boy Double P, man. I'm still priority P. I'm still pull up P, push up P, swimming pool P. Y'all know I play that gym heavy. You know what I'm saying? So, and all the old P's is still in effect too, all right? Don't get nothing fucked up. Matter of fact, we add one today. Today, because I seen y'all in the comments. Shout out to all the love. A lot of love in them comments. A little suspect shit too. So we gonna put today, we gonna add Pretzel P. Y'all can call me Pretzel P too. Why? Because a lot of y'all got me the fuck twisted. That's right.
Tell me you gonna put them in a pretzel.
I never do that for you. Dev is the motherfucker to put niggas in pretzels and shit.
In a straight way. And also to the left of him.
You already know it's the girl Walesca D, the fashionista. You know I'm always laced to the God
Heavy.
all the time. Y'all already know
What
I
you
got
like?
my opens on today.
Okay. Oh, she got them Pokemons on.
You know, well, y'all can't really see.
Tell them about your single thread, though.
My single thread vintage tee. This is a Detroit Tigers baseball tee. I think it's year 1987.
Oh, damn.
So this is brand new.
Heavy.
From 1987. So it was never bought.
A lot of great things was made in 1987. My girl was born in 1987. Shout out to her. Yeah.
Okay, 87.
Yeah, shout out to her. And today, of course, you always know we got the nasty girls in the building to the left of me.
It's your girl Sin Sin, aka Sin City, with the little titties until June.
In June, we having a titty reveal. You know what I'm saying? On the show.
Heavy.
You know what I'm saying?
God.
And then, of course, all the way over there in the back, it's the Mix Mud with the big bang.
Also known as your favorite mulatto Monica and the original mixologist of the Devinwade Show. I just want to throw that out there.
She likes to throw that out there because she says the other women that we bring on the show don't make drinks for real.
She just get territorial. You know, they started this shit with her, so she like, hold up, ACIA.
Talk heavy, Monica.
She gets very overprotective.
Yeah, put some respect on them.
You gotta put some respect on the nasty girls, period.
Yeah.
But listen, hold up. Because before you even get started today,
okay,
I need like a favor from the family for one of my homies.
What's up?
All right, real quick. We got time, right, Dev?
Yeah, hold on. A lot of times when niggas say for their homies, they talk about themselves. Is this about you?
No. This definitely ain't about me. Y'all know where I've been. I'm on some pure shit. I ain't even been in the mix. So this definitely ain't about me. I've been chilling, focusing on the grind. But one of my homies, right? He's a younger homie, about, I think he's 30, 31, I don't know. But he been with his shorty, right? For a minute now, right? I think they've been together over like 5 years. Mm-hmm. And he always was telling me, you know, they got a good relationship, a great relationship. Me and him talk a lot. You know, it's one of my close little homies. He, you know, of course, a little younger, so he come to me for certain shit. We rap on certain shit. He respect my advice. And he told me about, you know, he told his girl before about like a fantasy kind of like him possibly seeing if she would be up for like a threesome, you know, bringing another girl into the mix on like a fantasy shit. You know, it was something that he's thought about, and he had brung it to her like, I think he said like several times they talked about it. He said she never really like ruled it out, but she never said that she will be with it, right?
If he had to mention it 7 times, he's probably not with it.
Right. That's part of it. That he
Shout
thought,
out to you, Sin, for that.
That's part of it. That he thought for a long time that it just probably was a no-go. You know what I'm saying? But recently, he finally like just boiled down and cracked for the official like question to her, gave her the proposal. Like, look, I want to know if we could do this. You know what I mean? This is a fantasy of mine. I don't want to keep doing it. I just want to do it, whatever, and experience it, whatever. His girl surprised him because, again, he thought that she was really like just against it. His girl don't really like girls.
Right.
She don't like girls. He know that. You know what I mean? So he thought for that reason and just other reasons, she was just totally against it. Mm-hmm. But now, come to find out, his girl gave him like a different ultimatum. Mm. His girl said, I'm with doing something, right? Like a fantasy night, but I don't want to do it exactly like that.
Then what?
So his girl took, because she don't like girls.
All right, so what's he trying to do?
So,
Dev, if we want to be logical here, if she doesn't like girls,
listen, his girl, listen to the 3 options, because this is when he came to me and said, Rich,
she gave him options.
She gave him 3 options.
What are
and
they?
listen to him, because this is what he came to me with and asked me, could I ask the team?
Okay, sounds all bad, but go.
Could we give him a little bit of feedback? But
Option 1
is they both get the free night, right? With the she of course wants a man. He's gonna get his girl, right? She watches him, do him with the girl, and then he gotta watch her.
Nah.
Okay, that's
with,
one option.
With the man.
This is a good day for me to be on the mic.
The other option is that they can just take a free pass for the night. You know, you got the green light for the free pass with that other person, other gender, whatever, and you don't go, you don't watch. It's just a free night. You go do
some Kyrie Terrell type stuff.
We'll see each other in the morning type shit. That was option B. Option C was we don't do nothing and just keep our relationship and keep going how we been going.
So hold on.
I got a lot of questions.
Huh?
I got a lot of questions.
What's your question? What's some of your questions?
Do they have any issues in a relationship? Just period.
Nothing crazy.
Okay, because I feel like if he did, he would have brought that up, right?
Yeah, nothing crazy. He said they've been good. Good relationship.
I think, personally, I would just keep my relationship going the way it is.
Thank you.
Just to be safe. And I'm going to tell you why, though. Because I feel like you said he said to you that he asked her like several
times, and that means
she's not really with it. And I feel like she's trying to be a smart ass to some degree to give these 3 options.
Yo, so I have something called the fuck you price, right? And what that is I got to a point in my like design career where I don't have to take every job.
Oh yeah.
Some jobs are annoying. If I know the job is annoying, rather than say no, I'll give a fuck you price that might be 3-4 times what I charge. That way, if I do take on this annoying job, I'm being compensated. So I think she gave him a fuck you price in a sense, like, if you want this, that bad, because it says a lot for him to want it so bad that he'll say, yeah, I'll let another nigga put a dick in you.
Right. That's
Well,
wild.
basically, he was just saying that, you know, like he respected, like, because he already knows she don't like girls. So he felt like that was the reason why she was kind of like against it.
Where's
you know
the
what I'm
fourth
saying?
option?
And now he...
What's the fourth option?
Where's the dude? Another dude.
No, that was A. That was A. That was option A.
Together?
No.
No.
I'm talking about
she
two
said,
boys, one girl.
now, this part, so basically what she said is like, I'm not going to do a threesome, but this is what I would do. And then she gave him those 3 options.
No, but
did
this the
not
thing.
say-
No,
no,
but this
no.
the thing. She's trying to say that she left out an option of 2 dicks, him, another dick, and her. That's what.
Threesome.
Hold on, wait,
The way
Monica.
she looked at me, she was like this.
Hold on, Monica. First off, that you wouldn't consider. So men, we have a
that's
threesome.
a double standard.
We
We're
call-
not gonna say that.
We call it a train.
No.
So you think it's a threesome?
Threesome.
Would you have
How
one
many-
of those
how
type?
many threes?
Would you have one of those?
There's no train. There's 3 people.
Okay, would you have one of those type threesomes?
Right.
Technically, it is a threesome. The way the body works. You know, the man.
That's what I
penis,
said.
and the-
She said, hold on,
yeah.
the way math works?
No, it's the way the man works, like the body.
The body was in a figure
And they're
3.
figure 3.
She fucked him up because
Threesome.
he basically never saw this coming. He like, again, they got a healthy relationship. He got a good, he fucked with his girl. He got a good girl. Like, he never saw this coming where she would like, kind of like throw this little monkey wrench in the game and give him these alternatives that he never knew she would come with.
Be like a yes or a no.
Yeah.
Right. And now it's crazy because he's still like, that's why he asking for opinions, because he's still contemplating, like, either for real, he told me, he said, Rich, I ain't gonna hold you. The free night sound good.
Hold on.
He said, the free night sound good. He said, but for real, he said he's still trying to decide if he would want to be there when his girl doing what she do.
I don't think
They should not be there.
I don't think she really wants that though.
Yeah.
Like, I honestly, truly believe like she's definitely giving him a FU option. I think it's a trap.
I feel like
trap.
deep down inside, she knows he really don't want to be there. So that's why the option was given. Because she was like, he's not going to say yes to that.
And if he does, she's gonna be shocked.
Listen, he will
who
never.
don't like free?
No. Listen,
Like, free
he
mom.
could. Hold on, real quick. He could never. I believe he's going to put himself in a position where he could never see her the same, whether good or bad.
agree.
Whether good or bad, because I can't speak on another person's relationship.
Yeah.
But if you never saw your man fight before, and then one day you saw him beating somebody's ass, you look at him different forever. This is one of those moments. If seeing your wife bouncing around on another nigga gun is scary, it could be.
Yo, listen, I honestly don't even think, and this is just my opinion, right? I don't know her all like that, but I know a little of her. I honestly don't think that she's being spiteful. I honestly think that she really just weighed it out and said, well, I got to get something out of this, too. If you want a fantasy, I want a fantasy, right? Because if you want a fantasy, I want a fantasy. But we got to remember here, he already know his girl don't like girls.
You know why it's
so
spiteful?
So girls ain't an
Porta?
option.
You know why it's spiteful? Because she gave him the option to be there while watching. She didn't just say you can have a free night to go fuck a girl and I have a free night to go fuck a guy.
Monica, listen, we can't even say that that's spiteful because guess what? In this weird ass world that we live in, it's a lot of people that will want to be there versus not being there. It's a lot of people that will say, I'm gonna be there.
She gonna be like,
even though I'm not involved, especially if they get to be involved, they gonna be there. But even if not, just so they can know exactly what went down. They ain't got to worry about nobody lying, no extra shit get done. A lot of people will want to be there.
What much extra shit could get done?
And why for him to have his fantasy, why does she have to do anything with the girl? Why can't Like, why can't he eat her out while the other John's riding him? She never has to touch the girl. There's
Sin got all the answers. Sin.
She's giving all
It
the
might be
answers.
helping him. You might be helping him.
There's positions that you can do
Help
that
my
don't
boy
include
out.
the two girls being together.
Maybe she
I'm just
doesn't.
saying.
Maybe she doesn't want a woman around her man. Like she doesn't want to. Like,
But that don't make
but it
sense
doesn't-
if
it
she
doesn't
said.
with the option.
So
That's
she
why
said.
I think it's a. That's why I think it's a FU option because if she don't like girls, why would she put him in a predicament where she has to watch him have sex with another
Because
woman?
he wants another girl. Because
Yo,
he's the one
listen,
that wants.
listen, homegirl.
It's like this. He the one wants a fantasy, right? Listen, you got to understand. They got a faithful relationship with damn near no infractions. No side shit. Nobody never went sideways, right? And now he's coming honorably saying, hey, I would like this if I can get it.
Honorably?
To ask yes, bro.
To ask yes.
Hold on.
To ask
To
yes.
ask yes.
Hold on,
You
hold on.
think that's honorable to actually?
No. I ain't talking about the actual situation. I'm talking
you
about
just
him
talking
just
about
asking.
her.
Him
Okay,
asking
okay.
versus him just going left and going to fuck a
doing
bitch.
it on his own. Okay, I got
That's
you.
what I'm
I got
talking
you.
about is honorable versus
Yeah.
cheating.
Yes.
That's what I'm
yes,
talking
yes,
about
yes,
is
yes.
honorable. He was honorable about it, right? And all I'm saying is that the woman, I actually think that she's contemplated it. She's not being spiteful. She's saying, I want something out of this too because you want what you want. You want a fantasy. You want another woman for a whole night. Whether I'm there, whether I'm not. So she's saying, I can't do nothing with that. I'm strictly dickly. I can't do nothing with that. So
He can
I'm
be
telling you.
strictly dickly and still have the threesome.
That's true. That's true. And that's the best information we probably gave him tonight. I like that. But all I'm saying is that like we can't look at it like she's doing it on purpose. She's just basically like saying like I gotta get something out of this too. And I don't fuck with women.
We can look at it like that though, Rich. You got to think about it because he asked her several times, love. He
That's
asked
the
her
reason
several-
why I look at it like that.
If he didn't, then I'd be like, all right, she's into something. She's trying to get her cake and eat it too, type of thing. Like, all right, if we're
And
gonna
that's
do
just
this,
our guess.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
And it might not be the scenario, but what I would tell him though, best practice, I would just take the safe way out because you just don't know. Like, you don't know what the woman is contemplating in her head. You don't know. You really don't. We're very complex humans, okay?
And
But
she
we
can
give
think-
hints.
she
We
can
gave
think-
hints. We gave her the hint. You
Facts.
asked me 7 times. That's the
Yeah.
fucking hint. If I gotta watch, you gotta watch. That's what she said.
But see, my man don't feel like that because none of them times. I don't
don't
know.
wanna
I
hear
don't know
it.
if it was exactly 7,
Right.
but right because we might be a little
But several-
exaggerating.
all right, but several's a lot.
But the couple times that he did mention it to her, it was never like ruled out. She never said no. I'm totally against that. Why are you asking me that? She never gave him that energy.
Because she probably thought that he'll keep bringing it up. She'll be like, okay, and he'll eventually stop asking.
Like
Right.
so this is what I'm saying. If I ask my girl, do you want crabs tonight? Do you want to go get some a pot of crabs?
I don't think you want to ask about crabs.
Yeah, that was a bad-
No. Yeah, not that kind of crabs. But if I say
A little
that
crab du jour.
I'm going to get an answer if she want this crab du jour. This is a fact. So she's going to let me know. If I have to ask my girl multiple times
She
about
don't
a
really want
restaurant or anything else, she don't want
wanna
it. If we compare it to anything outside of sex, if I have to ask multiple times, she don't really
She
want
don't
it.
want to
can I-
say.
oh,
She doesn't
can I
want to
say
say
something?
no though. To you. She doesn't want to say no.
Can I say something too though? All right, depending on the scenario, it could, cause I do this sometimes.
Threesomes?
Monica,
Monica on point.
she always on point. No, I do not do
The
threesomes.
only one not drinking. This is about to be great.
Her sober ass. That's the problem. We need to get Monica. We need to get a nasty girl for Monica Ensign. That's what we need.
Ooh,
But
I like
anyway,
Yeah, that gets y'all drunk.
right?
That sounded
Personal.
like a threesome setup.
Hello.
No, it would be a threesome if I come with y'all. Then we good.
But no, what I was gonna say is that sometimes we don't want to give an answer because we don't want to say yes or no because we don't know what answer you are gonna like sometimes. Like, for
Right.
example, right? If a guy's like, all right, I'm gonna create a situation.
That's her
Say
situation.
I wanted to go to New York for the weekend, right? And I wanted to stay at this luxurious hotel.
Okay.
And the luxurious hotel costs $2,000 for the entire weekend, right?
Okay.
For me, I might think that's a little expensive, right? And then say the person here,
Don't point at me, because
Oh, sorry.
you staying in
Say-
Brooklyn, you fuck with me. Don't point at me. You staying in Flatbush.
say the person next to me. So say if the person next to me, they like, do you still want to stay in New York and go to this hotel? And I might not know if I want to say yes or no. And I'm like, well, is it too much for them? Is it not too much? You don't know. So you just kind of be like, you feel bad, not feel bad, but you're like, no, but you really want to say yes.
But if he initiated, because that's the difference in this situation with Ben.
Oh, he did initiate it.
Dude just bringing up out of nowhere, like, yo, you want to stay into something, Jones?
Right.
I don't feel like you got to fight with your girl. Your girl going to be like, hell yeah, I want to stay at the joint with the spa.
It'd be different if he asked her if she wanted to get a train ran on her. Because then I think that's like a test. It's a test question.
Yo, so that's a real... So this is really, really good. That would be considered a test. Let me ask you something.
That would be considered what?
A test. So imagine this. He want to test his girl. He tell his girl, listen, yo, I'm thinking about doing a threesome, but just the thing, it'll be like a dude with you. If his girl say, yeah, he aha, you fucking whore. I knew it. I knew you wanted to suck other dicks.
That's why I thought you were saying she was hesitant to answer because she didn't know which one was the right one. But this is a female, so.
Why she got to suck it? She got 2 holes.
Yo, I mean, the person with all the answers.
Well, technically, it's 3 holes.
People shouldn't even.
But 2 other holes other than the one that goes in the mouth.
Right. I'm with you. But I think for him,
I got one hole.
What?
I got one hole.
You don't.
Lies.
So you don't shit.
Lies.
You got one hole.
I got one hole designated.
Lies.
Oh, she got a designated hole.
You got a designated
She always
hole
come on
for a
here and lie.
designated
It
thing.
ain't never get too slippery where he was just like, whoop, right in the wrong one. Don't lie.
I'm not gonna lie.
Look at her. She ain't answer.
That has happened.
Not like fully, but it's like,
know.
oh.
You
see
see
how I didn't
you
answer?
gotta be careful.
Yeah.
When you're intimate, sometimes men have to be mindful.
Careful.
They're neighbors.
Careful.
Man, I might
They're
get
very
drunk.
close. And if that, like, it happened to me before to the point that, like, if you're going hard, right?
Right.
And, they miss the one hole and they go in the other.
I've done it.
Lights.
A whole meat went in your butt by accident.
No, not only that, but you might end up knocking like a turd out her.
No, I'm not gonna lie.
I'm dead ass. You might put some shit on the sheets.
I don't think it would knock it out. I
It
think
won't knock
push
it. It would have
in.
pushed it
Man,
in.
no, if the shit ain't solid, that shit coming out.
You better
I'm
pull a
telling
Jack,
you.
It
a
don't
Jack
work
Sparrow.
like that.
Man, shit will come out. Trust me. You will.
Nah,
He said, trust me from personal.
No, it's not even about the man going hard. It's about the woman. We talked about this before. The woman didn't properly do what she was supposed to do before anal.
Right, but what about if you're not this is the thing. This is not
For
what
real.
you're expecting when you're intimate with your significant other or whomever. You're not expecting them to do that. So if y'all going in and it mistakenly goes in there, like, that's lights out for you. If you're not prepared for that, it's literally like you got
R.I.P.
raped.
I'll tell you one thing.
Hold on, let's be clear.
We're gonna name this
it's
episode
not like
accidentally raped.
it's not rape. Let's
I'll
be
tell
clear.
you what.
It's not, but it's like
Why
one of
isn't
those.
it?
I'll tell you what. Any
isn't
woman.
I didn't want it
It wasn't
in my
consensual.
butt. It
Listen.
was not consensual.
Any woman who's had that
That's rape.
happen to them, right, is doing good in life. Because that means that it's extra wet in that area. That only happens when it's just a lot of juice around.
That's
And
what
it's from
I'm saying. You wanna know
whether
what
it's from the
happened? You know what it is,
front
Wally?
to the back.
This that splash.
Nah, for real.
That's what happened.
Because if you got some dry shit, like some semi-dry, you ain't got to worry about nobody slipping nowhere. That shit is like not good.
No.
Hold on, did we help?
Well, I said, what do you feel?
Sin gave the best information to me.
Thank
Right.
you.
She said, tell your girl, bro, go tell Shorty that y'all can do the threesome without her indulging with another
What
girl.
nigga don't want to see 2 girls making out in front of him?
Yeah, but
That's the whole purpose of a
what
threesome,
nigga don't
I
want to
feel
make
like.
out with his girl?
But
while
his
the
girl-
But she said she didn't want a threesome though.
Exactly.
That's
She
the
don't
thing.
want no girl.
Listen.
Threesome is
Enlighten
out
me.
the question.
She
What's the
said
point
she
of a
didn't want a
threesome?
girl.
Hold on, the
she
point-
didn't say she didn't want the threesome. She said she didn't want to be with another girl. She doesn't like girls. is
No.
what
She said she didn't want a She said she didn't like that, but then she did say she don't want threesomes.
Because maybe in her mind, she's
Yes,
thinking it's
I agree
because I
that.
have to do something with a girl, and maybe she don't necessarily have to.
She said she
I
want to
agree.
slide down a pipe like Mario.
But honestly, I think you should play it safe because I think she's trying to trick you for real.
No, she can ride his dick while he's eating her out, and that's what it is. And
Yo, you got this really mapped out well.
Spicy. Hey, yo, listen. From now on, call me One Piece Porter. I put them in that sexy
you
shit.
3P Porter.
I put them in that sexy shit right there.
no, wait, hold
You
on.
dig?
Let's show
Hold
Hold on.
Oh.
Yo.
Oh.
Wait, hold on, I gotta jump.
Y'all know that? Listen, the
You ever
sun
watch
coming out.
Monica? You ever watch Monica when she make her butt cheek move? It's like she uses her fist and it moves it. It goes. She goes like this, and it just naturally just moves.
Her index
like
finger is connected to her ass muscles.
So every time you see
Like
her
a
put that
puppet.
hand up, that cheek gonna go up.
She like a puppeteer.
Pay
So-
attention.
That's not even what the show is about.
But we gotta help my man,
but we
though.
helped him.
But we did. I think we did.
Did we help? We helped him.
I think we
I
did.
think
Did you
All
feel
right.
like we helped? You didn't. Yeah.
I said, don't do it.
Right.
Yeah,
Stay
Dev
away.
said that.
Me and Dev
Dev
on the same
spilled.
page. We trying to play it safe.
Yeah, stay away from
Yeah,
that.
don't do it. 4 out of 3 out of 2.
No, I'm saying you don't gotta do it, but if you're gonna do it,
She's
just
saying
listen
do
to
it.
me.
She's saying do it.
I mean, you might be missing out on a good time. I'm just saying, sis, don't block your blessings.
New titties coming soon. But we're gonna talk about what we really came here to talk about today. Hopefully, this situation don't get too heated. But we want to talk about something back in the day, right? Right before this, we was talking with Kayla and everybody about her brother getting in trouble, cursing as a kid,
Yeah.
getting the hot sauce poured in his mouth. And I remember I cursed at school before, and my mom made me like eat like a piece of a bar of soap, like clean your mouth out with soap type shit, where you like spitting up and and you know nowadays that's like
Do you
child
remember what
abuse.
kind of soap it was? Just GP?
Irish Spring for sure.
Irish
Spring. Irish
And
Spring.
Lieber 2000. Oh,
Yeah, my dad used to wear that.
I never had the lever joint, but yeah, the Irish Spring joint. So back in the day, parents was able to kind of do what they wanted and kind of had rule over their children. And into today's time is a little bit different. It feels like there's like a conflict now between government and parenting. You know what I mean? The way it used, you know, they tried to make a division between church and state. It seems to be a thing where, for example, if I caught my son with weed, right?
Right.
If I smack him, handcuffed him, or if I put him on punishment where he was locked in his room and I made it like a jail cell, it would be abuse.
Right.
But police could
Do the
yank
same.
him up. If they caught him with it, they yank him up, cuff him, do all the same shit, and it's legal for them, but it's not legal for you to do that in the home. It's what I'm, to try to break
Right.
that down. So I wanted to talk about government versus parenting and things like that, and where you think we at right
Hold
now.
on, real quick, Richie, before you into that, right?
go ahead.
Before you're into that, it's something triggered my head. Do we blame the kids for that though?
What you mean? Blame them for what? Like, what do you mean? Like,
Because I feel like now children know the power when they tell on their parents.
They do.
They know the power, and I feel like now that they know that, they abuse that, and that's why we have this situation going on.
so
No, that's a great point.
Yeah.
That's a great point. We all know that, I'm in like the child care field. I've been in the child care field. And I definitely can say that the government has some laws and some rules and regulations that are backwards. And then I'll also say that there's rules and regulations that they may need that they don't have. Right? We'll get to those later. Right?
okay.
But for this first part, I just feel like what Wally said, I've seen that. I've witnessed that. Where children, once they see the side that the state takes, right? Regardless of their actions, they know. They done flip the crib upside down, try to set shit on fire, all kinds of shit. Mom whooped your ass. Somehow, some way, because it had to be like, and I ain't talking about no specific situation. I'm just giving an example of these scenarios, right? It probably was like multiple times where it happened and the state would come out, because they get involved in these type situations to make sure the
Right.
parenting, I guess, is supposed to be right,
Right.
whatever. But then again, for real, they don't even let you parent, because once the child gets wind that, they not even really coming here for me. They coming here for you. Like, they done got wind that we got some shit going on in this house, and they come find out, and they find out exactly what's going on. Like, no, it's him. He got all these behavior issues, whatever. He just not listening. He picking it. I don't know where he picking it up from. Could be friends in school. Could be outside. I don't know. But he's picking it up, and it's becoming to a point where, like, I got to put my hands on him and try to discipline my child. And no bullshit. Like, the government, state, whatever you want to call it, they got that shit damn near to the point where parents are scared to discipline their own children.
Right.
But it's like Dev said, you can get incarcerated though, right? And I'm living proof, right? I was 14, went to jail, Jamesburg, New Jersey, right? Training school for boys. I went there at 14. I'm from Camden. You know, I'm a little hot-headed. I got a little attitude. I'm a little, I got some little shit with me. But not no shit with me that I should be abused for, right? And I got down, and I remember like my first second day, the police was saying some shit like, oh, you going, this and that, all these new, whatever. And we got into something, because I told them where I was from, like Camden, and they say some shit like, from the rip, they was on bullshit like, oh, well, we don't play that shit down here, wah. And I was like, well, I ain't say nothing to y'all. What the fuck? Like,
they was just trying to establish their dominance, basically.
Right. And like we come like that. Like we really like, we don't fear like none of that shit like that, man. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know why. It's just the pain, the poverty, whatever the fuck you want to call it. But I was talking shit. Them niggas gripped me up, took me in the room, smacked me. Was smacking me while one was holding me. These grown ass men, right? So my whole thing is like, shit like that can happen to me by strangers. Right? And when I'm in incarceration, and guess what? Okay, in my situation, because I know a lot of people, they be like, oh, but you broke the law. You did this. We don't give a fuck. Once you break the law, whatever. We don't care about you. It's a lot of people that feel like that, which that is wrong. It is wrong. That is wrong, because people make poor decisions and mistakes every day.
And we're talking about children on top of that.
Exactly. But motherfucking like a kid who's having trouble in his household with his mom, right? Behavior issues. He didn't break the law. He didn't do nothing, right? How the fuck does this kid end up in like foster homes or detention centers where he could possibly definitely be getting abused, mistreated, all kinds of wild shit, right? All because y'all wouldn't give the proper biological parents, mother, no real assistance, right? Like that. Another situation happened with my niece, right? And then I'm gonna let the team build on this. But because I'm telling you, they do a stank job. They do a stank job, and they got poor rules and poor laws, right? My niece, I love my niece to death. Shout to my niece Jules, love her to death. That's my baby right there, like a daughter to me, right? Her and my son. I remember I like spanked them over something light. They was like probably like 6 or 7. They was selling sodas out the refrigerator, out the backyard, some old wild shit, right? Then like a week later, my niece got caught coming out of an alley. She was like, just a little dumb shit. She ain't do nothing. She was just with like a little boy talking some shit, but I ain't like it. I know Camden. I know what happens in alleys in a split second, right? So I instantly kind of like started drilling her. I think I probably popped her lightly, never put my hands on my kids like that for real. But anyway, she ended up going to tell a neighbor near my mom's house. The neighbor played a trick on her and told her the neighbor was on some bullshit. They was like on some, I guess they could take custody of my niece and they think money. A lot of people, sick people think money are like, kids are like money objects, right?
Absolutely.
So they got my niece to call the state and do that bullshit on my mom, right? They got my niece down there. And they kind of like trying to drill my mom. I come down there, I'm snapping. What the fuck is y'all talking about? What is y'all talking about? We can't touch her, this and that. She was in the alleyway with a little boy that was motherfucking 13, 14, probably 2-3 years. Y'all don't know what the fuck could have happened there. She could have been raped.
Could have happened.
A lot of crazy shit. And
it's like they run to a third parent.
Right.
Like the government is like their third parent.
You telling me I can't make sure that she don't do that? But the only thing y'all motherfucking gonna do is go stick her in some motherfucking building like she's an inmate? Right. Because that's where a lot of them go. Guess what? If ain't no foster home open and we don't got a family that's willing to take you, you gonna end up in the motherfucking detention center like you broke the law.
In the system.
Can I say something?
Absolutely.
Because that neighbor definitely took advantage of your niece. And that's where I say that these kids don't realize the impact that they're having on their families. When you get taken away, you can never go back. Well, you can to some degree, depending on the situation. But I feel like these laws have so many. The laws are created because there are scenarios where
it's needed.
It's needed, and there's kids that are really getting abused, but not getting that attention, right? That kid can, tell the government and be like, hey, this and this is going on. And the parent can be like, oh no, he's lying. Like, what are you talking, like exactly what you said. What are you talking about? And it could be a situation where the kid is getting abused.
That's true.
And then those things come up, right? And then it's like, for example, there was this documentary on Netflix about a kid, same situation. The system failed him, right? The system failed him so bad that the kid ended up dying, right? But it's because the parents and the parent and the stepdad was saying that the kid was lying, right? So those situations, it's hard. It's like, yes, we got to put these laws in place for certain instances, but it's like, where is the space to kind of like really dive deep and investigate and figure it out and see, not just going off that child's, first conversation with,
Right. And then a lot of the kids don't know where they'll end up. They might feel spiteful or they saying something to
In
them.
the
Like
moment.
this is my one power up on mom or dad, but they don't realize like, hold on, what? I'm not going to be at my room with Nintendo and
Nope.
cool and
No,
air
nope.
conditioning.
They go
and then,
through all that, and then they end up somewhere worse, and they're
With
over here
nothing.
regret, and then they regret, and
Right,
like, I
they
should have
like,
never
oh,
said nothing. I could have been back with my parents because it wasn't that bad.
Right, 'cause
But
really-
some abusive parents can use that as a threat too. Like if they're being you think I'm bad? Well, they're gonna take you this, and then they don't say anything to the government
Yeah.
because they don't want to be worse, but they could be better off without
Nah,
them.
that's true too.
That's why I mentioned that the government got laws that they could use or
That they
could
not
have
using.
that they don't have.
Like
because
what?
yes,
Give us an example.
it's going to sound hard. A lot of people ain't going to like this, right?
what?
I'm not here to be liked though. That's the
Yeah.
beautiful thing about that.
Right.
But if they started having motherfucking rules almost like China, and you know how China got like, you can't even have a certain amount of kids over there, right? Because of population control and various other reasons. But I feel like, right? Because I work in this shit. I've seen kids like really like, kind of like neglected.
Yeah.
And I've seen kids kind of like fucking go without.
In poverty situations.
While the fucking, while fucking like parents do them.
Yep.
So I can honestly say that I'm a father. I'm a father, man. I feel like I shouldn't bring them here if I ain't gonna take care of them.
I completely agree.
Right? That's my opinion. That's how I feel.
And that you mentioned
Can't nobody take that away from me. That's how
So
I
what do
feel.
you think? So what do you think the law should be then?
No, I'm just saying, if the government had laws, right, to kind of like damn near assess people, men and women. This ain't
Yes.
just a woman thing.
Yeah.
We assessing men too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't got no motherfucking skills. You don't got no work history. You don't got a motherfucking plan on what you gonna do as soon as this kid get here. You know, the first 9 months when you find out,
Don't
8
bring
months,
a kid in a fucked up situation.
Well, guys,
you can't have the kid.
You can't say that right
Right?
now.
And say,
Because they changed the rules now where a lot of states are passing laws where you can't even I'm pro whatever's best for your situation. I have a kid, so whatever you got to do. But they passed a law now that in certain states you can't even get an
yo,
abortion.
listen,
Hold on,
that
no,
shit.
I don't think that's what he mean. It sounds like
No,
what he's
but
talking.
He's saying in China,
He's saying give it
No,
up.
no, no,
He's
no.
saying don't even
No,
raise
no,
it.
I
I just
Porta
gave
saying
I
don't
just
even raise
gave China example of how they place laws in place to kind of like control certain things, right? But I'm not saying we need exactly what they got. I'm saying as far as like
Basically,
moms,
it's
as far as mothers, unfit
Right.
mothers, right? Unfit mothers, and these situations where these children end up abandoned, neglected, like they be super fucked up.
Hold on. It sounds like what he's talking about, like Wally. He sound like what he's talking about is so if y'all know what dystopian means and like dystopian future movies and shit like that, it'll be like is a movie called Starship Troopers, and in the movie, the people had to have a license to have a kid or something like that, right?
So basically, what Dev's trying to say and what Rich is trying to say is being intimate and to be able to produce
right,
should be a luxury.
right.
So yeah. So basically, what would happen is but this
And
will
not even just a luxury, but it's a job. You know it's a job. If you don't have the proper tools in place and you haven't done the proper motherfucking studying for this job, that's any job in America.
And
How
it
the
doesn't-
fuck-
and
how
it
the
doesn't-
fuck-
But this the thing. So we got to look at it from like a realistic, right? We talk about government and parenting, right? Because this is a deep topic that'll actually have you on both sides of the joint, because we want freedom from the government to be able to raise our kids a certain way. We want to be able to have a gender reveal and say, yeah, it's a girl, and not have people say, how you going to do a gender reveal? That child hasn't chosen its gender yet. You know, things like that. Or when they go to school, they tell them, hey, you don't have to say that you're a boy yet, Devin Jr. You could think that over. So what I'm saying is, what Porter's talking about would actually be more government control, because in order to make that work, they would have to sterilize people first. So what happens is you would get sterilized, And then when you get your license, when you prove that you have the ability, the knowledge to bring a child in the world, then you will be, your reproductive situation would be activated. And that's how it was on this joint.
Right. I mean, something like that, I get it that it's a little far out for like a lot of people. But all we saying is, in a nutshell, right? Because I don't want a bunch of parents to take this the motherfucking wrong way. But all we saying is that versus just having these children and then trying to figure it out later, I just feel like if a rule was in place for us to kind of like establish ourselves somewhat a little bit, especially when we know that.
And it doesn't have to be like, you don't have to be like crazy rich or something. It's just like you're capable as a human,
but
mentally.
But we just to play devil's advocate.
Okay, go ahead.
What would have happened to your first son?
Yeah, that, I mean, my first children, let me see, my first son, I was about, to be honest, my first son, if they would have came to me on some shit like that, they probably would have told me, no, I can't have him, right? Because I was getting high, I was smoking, I was still, at that time, I was smoking dust, going over Philly, doing my little leak shit, weed shit. So I was a little, not prepared. No, I wasn't gone. I don't never let myself get gone. But I was definitely just tweaking. You know what I mean? Young and enjoying my life. But motherfucking, I definitely think they would have said no, and it probably would have been a proper call. And it's crazy that you asked that, Deb, because now you make me kind of like look at it slightly differently.
Because people can grow up and learn.
Because my son was the very thing that changed me.
So this is where this conversation gets deep.
A lot of people say that.
This is where the conversation gets deep because
you just fucked me up.
Because a lot of us won't grow up without responsibility. So that's why this is so interesting, because on one hand, Porter brought up before, like, if a woman can't cook, no disrespect, but should she be able to have a kid if she can't provide food for him?
But for his situation, you got to think about it, right? Your baby mom.
Right.
If she was on the same path as you, would you think that's just it would have supported your son in that moment? Because you got to think about it. Granted, we're factoring out both parents, right? Like, if this person could have a child, if this person could have a child, but say yes, Rich probably in that moment wasn't ready to have one, but mom was. So it's like,
but see, again, that's where probably like a proper law. Y'all got all these goofy laws, right? I just feel like a cool little law could have, because I still ain't mad, even though Dev threw that in there, and that's a fact. I still ain't mad at like a law to just kind of like assess people.
Like if you have
right? Because when I talk to these youngins, right? When I talk to these youngins and they go through what I went through, where they come to me and they be like, Rich, I'm about to have a baby. Or I just see it. I know, I get wind of it. And these guys that are in the trenches, these guys that are the old me, right? They me 20 years ago, right? The first thing I try to do is really like embed the reality and how big of a blessing and how much of your life is going to change and how beautiful it is once you have this child.
Yeah.
This child, I be trying to tell them, like, listen, this shit gonna have you looking at this shit all the way different.
But can I tell you something, Richie? This is where this would go wrong. Because I actually kind of agree with the idea, right? But at the same time, let's live in the reality we live in. These are things that are possible in the future. We live in a different world. If you see how the world was 20 years ago, 20 years ago compared to 40 years ago, right? You could have probably got your ass whooped by a neighbor.
Yep.
Word.
This is just so this, just imagine this. I'm outside, I do some nut shit, I get a beaten by a neighbor, I don't even know man name. You know what I mean? He walked me right to my crib. This little nigga and his little cousin was in the back doing this, writing on the wall, and then I got an ass whooping for my parent.
Right.
And so as time evolves, things are different. So this shit is not that far-fetched, but just remember this. If there were licenses to reproduce, imagine what would step into place when it comes to bias and inequality.
What about accidents?
But I'm saying, no, it would be a thing where, no, if people were born and that was put in you, there wouldn't be no accident. You'd be able to bone crazy. You wouldn't get pregnant. You would have to turn on a person's ability. But this be the problem though, Rich.
Would it be an vasectomy where it could be reversible when they're ready?
I don't know what the technique would be, but regardless of the situation,
I don't like the reversing. That sounds like a hemorrhoid.
But regardless, what would happen when you start noticing that they not giving licenses out to black people?
Yep.
When you notice, like, hold on, yo, they not turning on colored people, Jones. Then people will be marching in the street talking about turn our reproductive shit back.
You can really erase a race.
Yep.
Correct. Correct.
My whole thing is this, right? And I want people to know that I mean well. I never will want to control nobody from such a beautiful thing as reproducing, right? Life, right? Bringing your own in, right? Your own flesh and blood, right? That should be your choice, and you should be able to do it whenever you're ready, right? I guess even though they still got laws. Y'all don't get mad at me because they still got laws. You 15, 13, shit like that, you're going to end up in probably like a different little situation. You got to kind of like do things still according to like certain little laws that I feel they still have. But I just feel like, like, look at what's going on. Like, look at who's really like filling like these prisons, these cemeteries, shit like that. I think about shit like that. And that's the only reason why it leads me to kind of like do some wild thinking like this. Like, okay, well, maybe we should change something somewhere, because it's really like all of like majority, like a lot of our children, our people that's ending up in these prisons, that's ending up in these cemeteries, and they there anywhere from fucking 14 to fucking, it's really like you cheating kids. We bringing kids into the world and they're not even really getting to fucking experience this shit. They not even getting it. I was one of them. I thank God. I thank God for blessing me with the strength and the clarity to be able to see shit differently, and my children, right? For being able to get another shot at life. Yeah. And right now I'm just thinking about all these kids that's out here. And again, this ain't me blaming the parents. I'm just actually saying, listen, Mom, like, I just feel like we need to be ready. We need to have all the tools that we could possibly have before we go into this shit, because look at what's happening. They killing our children. They locking our children up, right, forever. All this time. This ain't life. This ain't what, and I hate to kind of like just go in the race a little bit, but a lot of other cultures, this ain't what they experiencing.
And before, just to kind of like, because I know the direction you're headed, and before we like wrap this all up, I think that our communities need more tools and support when it comes to stuff like that.
What about like classes, like parent classes? It's
not even about parenting classes. You
There's
know what
no
it is?
handbook or anything.
There's no handbook for being a parent,
At
but
all.
at the same time, you have to support them emotionally, because it's like what old heads say. It's a generational curse.
Think about
if this person does this to their child, they think like that's the right way to parent.
A lot.
Unless you break the
opposite.
cycle. Unless you break the cycle.
Listen, let's be honest, right? I want to be honest, right? Let's be honest, right? Because I know we got a lot of shit. We went through some shit as far as like just people of color, right? For the longest, right? But we still fucked up. We still do some fucked up shit, right? It's a lot. Let's be honest. It's a lot of people out here that just have babies for money. They have babies for the food stamps. They have babies for the motherfucking...
This is a real thing.
No, this is the realest thing. All the shit that come with it, right? So then you realize when the baby actually here, functioning, talking, Google, gaga, here, there, you actually realize that you're not even ready for a baby. You're not even really beat for the baby.
Leave him with grandma.
But you need the money, right? So the government, right? The government has set this thing up like this.
They planned it out.
We're going to give you the free money to lay on your ass, because we know that the child, eventually, you're not going to really like be on the child and steer the child in the proper direction.
They're going to get the child back. They're going to get their money back, because the child's going to get right in the system.
Come on. They get it plus some.
Yeah.
You know how much they paying for an inmate bump?
Yep.
You know how much they paying for a bed? For a little nigga to be in jail?
That's why they set that up like that.
It's crazy, but y'all taking the $250 in cash with the $300 per child, $400 per child, whatever the fuck they give you in fucking some stamps, some shit that you can't even really like. It's like rules to it.
That's crazy.
It's like limitations to it.
Yep.
And the government sit back laughing. They building new prisons.
Yep.
This is, hold on, and real quick. This is
is
not
true.
this is not like some wild conspiracy theory. This
that's
is
a
just
fact.
real. This is
I
a
don't-
real
listen,
design.
I'm
This
gonna
is-
tell y'all now. I don't give a fuck, and I love my children, right? My plan, God willing, I'm gonna be here till God ready for me. I'm gonna see my children grow old. I'm gonna teach them, and I'm gonna bet some dope shit in them to make this world a better place, right? But I really don't give a fuck about none of the people that eat off this foul shit. I was a victim of it. So I'ma speak my mind. I don't give a fuck if they send out assassins or none of that shit. I've dealt with that shit in the ghetto before. It's nothing with like a nigga threatening me. You can threaten me all the fuck you want. Like, my whole thing is I'm speaking my mind. All that shit is fucked up, and we gotta be mindful as fucking humans. I'm gonna say humans, right? Because as humans, human nature, I feel like we supposed to kind of like want to do right. Human nature. You wouldn't want nobody to do no fucked up shit to you for nothing. Just walk up to you, smack you, bust you with a fucking stick, anything. You wouldn't want it. So human nature, I feel, for us is to kind of like do the right thing. Do the proper thing. You know what I'm saying? And as parents, I just feel like we got to be mindful. If we see it's a trick out here, it's an obstacle course, and that shit got a bunch of booby traps, and this shit been set up for mainly like people like us, or we ain't even gonna go there, that it's been set up for mainly people like us, but mainly people like us is falling into the fucking trap, right? Mainly our communities are the ones who fucking really like being set up for the trap. You can't trap out Cherry Hill. If a nigga stand on the corner in Cherry Hill, they be the fuck out there tomorrow and smack
Real
the
quick.
shit out of him.
Real quick.
Maple Shade, any other fucking area.
But we got but this is the thing too. As grown people, we know that. But at the same time, our people, when we decide to take on certain things as our culture, I'm gonna let y'all know right now, criminal culture is not our culture.
Facts.
So when people got that same mindset of they don't want the police stopping their kids from being on a corner and this person ranting and this person's this and this person that because they hate police. See, in those other communities, they don't hate police. They want the police there.
Yeah, because police assignment is a different assignment.
So regardless of the fact is, if they saying no, we want police everywhere in our community, we gotta pick one. We either want that kind of order there, because if you remove that order, then people will do as they please. They gonna do what they do. Oh, ain't nothing to stop my hustle. I'm gonna set my shop
What
up
they call
right
that,
here.
martial law?
But they never.
Well,
but
not
necessarily
necessarily that. Yeah.
The crazy thing is though, and I respect that. I agree with Dev. But the crazy thing is that they never really do that in our community until they got a plan for it, and the plan is never for us. They never really like, just be on some shit where like, no, we gonna have the police here. We gonna put an end to all this shit. Cause right now, let's do the math, right? Camden, right? Camden right now, the crime rate is down, right? Let people tell it the crime rate is down, right? In Camden compared to the previous years, right? Violence is down, all that shit. But at the same time, they saying Camden is being gentrified. Camden is being the residents, the old residents, and the original people of Camden are being pushed out. New people want Camden. I believe it. I'm a property owner. They hit me every day like, yo, you selling? I be texting them back like, you selling something, nigga? Like, what you selling? We buying too, nigga. Like, so my whole thing is like, it just be like, it be like you got one thing going on over here, you'll have one thing going on over here. You know what I'm saying?
So are you saying ultimately the fact that the crimes are being lower, the crime rate is lower, is that they're gentrifying because those old people ain't there?
They're not fixing the problem. They're pushing it somewhere else.
Yeah, they're putting the problem in a different.
They getting ready for the takeover.
Yep.
They getting ready for the takeover because soon as a white person buys my house, it's gonna change in that neighborhood.
Oh, that's a fact.
That's a big fact, right? That's a big fact. It's gonna change in my neighborhood.
But also that white person will be like, yeah, I want cops here. Yup, I saw this person right outside busting a trap. Yup,
Right.
Because he don't live by these goofy rules. I'm telling you, he's like, nope, I pay money to live here. I don't want a nigga with a Tech 9 sitting on my corner.
And we, again, because it's our people, we try to turn our cheek on it. We try to say, nah, that's little Tyrone out there. That's
Right.
my man's son.
Right.
I can't
It's
go to the
difficult.
pig. I can't go to the police on Lil Tata.
Exactly.
And Lil Tata doing what Lil Porter used to do.
Exactly, and that's
It's a hard situation.
That's my son's friends. These are people of the community. You watch people grow up. It is very difficult for you to
But who's
clean
really
up your
helping
own
though?
house. You know what I'm saying?
Who's really helping?
What do you
the
mean?
person that calls and stops it early on, or the black people that enable it to keep going on? For
I
them
mean,
to
that's
get
a great.
killed
It's a great.
when they
it's
get
a,
older.
That's a fucking great question, because for real, we all know that letting it go all
Yeah.
these years has not worked.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So people could believe what they want. You could fight with it in your head or whatever. But I have this debate often with people, and you can't have it both ways. When you move out and you go, this is what you could do. You take any nigga from the hood that trapped and did everything his whole life like he don't got to be nobody crazy. He just, I've been through it all. I did a little bit, but now I went and got me my crib out Mount Holly. I went and got me my crib out, Cherry Hill. Let him see.
Everybody,
Let him see niggas start posting up and trying to turn
he
his
calling the
corner
cops.
into a block.
He
everybody
worked hard to get out of that environment. He doesn't want that.
Everybody need to be working on being better humans, man. We in 2022. We've lived a long time. We've been going on for centuries and decades. Everybody need to work on being a better human. And you evil humans, y'all better pray it ain't nothing after this. Because I know a lot of evil humans that they probably, and it's just my opinion, I feel like the way they move and the way they operate here, I feel like a lot of people gotta believe it's nothing after this. And me personally, I'm on the flip side, right? I believe it's something after this. And I could kind of like go into it a little bit just lightly, but real quick question. You ever had an amazing dream where you was like really stuck there? It almost felt real.
Yeah, of
you
course.
seen some of your people. You probably gave your person a hug, everything, and woke up like almost like delighted, right?
Yeah, you could wake up disappointed in the motherfucker too. Like when you realize that it's not real. Yeah.
I get that, but imagine, I just want to say, throw this thought out there. Imagine being like reaching a place like that, and that's where you stay at now. Like, almost like in a conscience type, situation. Like the shit we was talking about with Oskino, right? The flip side to that, right? Have you ever had a nightmare? Like the worst dream ever? Like you wanted to get
a lot of those.
Like you was trying to shake and get the fuck out of there.
Yeah.
Like it was that bad, that serious, right?
And then you just stuck there.
Imagine being stuck there,
Forever.
right? Because every night when we go to sleep, unconsciously, we leave this shell. Every night. Especially on the good nights when we have good shit.
That's some deep shit.
And I'm only saying that, I'm only putting that out there so the geniuses, because we got a lot of geniuses. We got scientists. We got all kinds of medicine motherfuckers that want to run shit. They want to control shit. You get so caught up in like your learnings and your studies and this shit that now you start to feel like you almost like you the creator. You the creator. You the one all be all. Like, and I just feel like people need to be mindful, man. People need to be mindful. Not only because of that, fuck the afterlife. It's niggas that'll bust your ass right here. Like, so just be a better human. Be positive, man. Be positive. Do better. Treat people how you want to be treated.
I agree.
I say you could poke the angry bear. It's only going to get angrier. So a little love and compassion definitely goes a long way.
Right.
Absolutely.
Facts.
Bring the wheel out. Listen, man, these conversations can get so
Hey, look.
You want to be in heaven with us, or
so deep, you know what I'm saying? So this shit could get so this shit could get
Listen,
so
and
deep.
don't get it fucked up. I got new etiquettes. I am the etiquette expert. Like sometimes, these conversations and these topics, they go a little longer. You know what I'm saying? So we'll save some shit for y'all, but I'm working on these etiquettes and we gonna get to them.
Yeah, like I said, this conversation could get real deep, man. And I know that people probably arguing over this type of shit, whether or not the government should have more say in our lives, whether we need them to step in and fix certain things with parenting and all this type of shit. For me, I'm really a person that really look at the good old days. I'm a good old days person. And I really wish things went to the past where parents did get to raise their kids. The parents did get to decide how to discipline their kids. There's always going to be bad apples in the batch and all that type of shit. People that do too much in those situations. But for real, I want to be able to be the person that could discipline my son. I want to be the one to be able to tell them, because nowadays, for real, you don't even have real right to really put your religion into your kid, because school will tell them, yeah, that ain't it. This is how.
Right.
Man, school be on some other shit. That's another topic for another time. But trust me, we dealing with some shit out here.
But yeah, who gonna spin that wheel, yo?
One of these butts.
I wonder what it'll be.
Ollie said twerk. He said Ollie twerk.
Shake that. No, I said shake.
Do it for the natural booty. Do it for the natural booty.
Shake.
Do it for the natural booty.
Listen, man, y'all already know, no matter how serious the conversation get, we always end this thing with the you know what I'm saying? We appreciate everybody that rock with the show. Listen, if you really, really rock with us and support our show, make sure you hit the thanks button, man. They got a thanks button now, so ain't no excuses. You can send them tips directly towards us, man. For myself, for Walesca D, for Porta Rich, for the Nasty Girls, and for my main man, Els, right there on the camera that y'all can probably see now in the background. You know what I'm saying? Els with the butt cam. Els with the butt cam. Look at him. We up out of here, y'all. Peace.